How are you?
Tired.
Tired?
I've been doing, this is my, I think, 10th interview today.
So I guess everybody's been working all sorts of things back 21 years. Kiss, eh?
Not 21 years, 21 albums.
Well, my albums, yes, sir, for this was it 15 years?
Yeah.
So 21 albums. 21st album? Was it
21st.
21st? What's going to be? Best one?
I hope so. I mean, I think it is. What am I supposed to say? She's sitting there. It took longer to write because we were concerned that the material be the best that it could. There were 50 songs written and 12 recorded. 11 were used. There's one other song called "Are You Always This Hot" that was that was recorded but not used.
B-side of some single.
No, we never finished it.
Oh, your face.
Maybe it wasn't right for the album. I'm not sure. Please. You want a drink?
No, thanks.
Coca-Cola? No?
No.
No. So PLRM? No. I don't know what I'm saying.
So you took all the time to write it?
Well, we didn't take a long time to write it because we write fast. We wrote a lot of songs, is what we did. And also we wanted to wait for Ron Nevison, which is somebody we wanted to work with. And so while we were writing songs, he was making himself available and so on. So it took a while, but it worked out well. We're very happy with the results.
You ever thought of producing Kiss album?
We do.
No, you, personal. Like, produced by Gene Simmons. Ron Nevison or...
Why me? Why not Paul? Why not...
Well, you're the person that does most of our production outside of the camp.
Well, it's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure that I would have clear perspective. Because the most difficult thing to do is to practice what you preach. What I mean by that is, if you look it's much clearer for somebody else when they look at you, what the way things really are. They can see you without thinking about anything. When you look at yourself, you have all these other things in your mind. And also when you look into a mirror, if you look too closely, you see nothing except the two eyes looking back at you. You can't see your chin or your face or anything. So perspective is very important. And I'm not sure I would have that if I produced Kiss. It's too close, I think.
And you usually had that perspective when you
go to other band?
Other band.
Well, that's easy because you're not looking at yourself. You're looking at somebody else.
Right. How do you get on producing other bands? They approach
me.
Is it, I mean, what do you get out of this?
Satisfaction that, well, first of all, it's creative. And then the idea is also to do something, to achieve something. Why does anybody want to climb a mountain? Because it's there. You want to get to the top. You want to climb it. And when you climb it, there's a satisfaction when you reach the top. You want something? No?
Well, what, because you are, I mean, this talks at Paul being on the verge of recording his second solo album.
Me too.
And you too. All right. So I was thinking, he's recording his solo album, but you never did that because you're sort of like producing other bands and doing.
Oh no, there's time to do everything when it's the right time. Next year, probably.
Well, you need to have a lot of time because you do a lot of things.
If you plan it, if you don't have wives and dogs and houses to take care of, if you can allocate the work, You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to clean up this place, so I can just be here, eat, do whatever I want, and run, and somebody else cleans it. But if I had to clean this place, for instance, the amount of time that I clean it is that much less time that I have to myself to do other things. So whenever I do anything else, I always have partners. For instance, I don't engineer the records I produce. I have engineers. So I can come in and just concentrate on producing and not have to sit there mixing it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the engineer will start mixing and I will come in at the end and just fine tune it.
Yeah.
So that saves 2 weeks right there. While that's going on, you can be doing something else. And when we don't tour, or when we don't record an album, we write songs. But you can't write songs 24 hours a day. So for 5 hours, I'll write a song. And for the rest of the day, you can do something else. You can produce another group or go out and try to find.
Yeah. And a lot of people keep saying.
Did you understand that?
Yeah, I understand. A lot of people always put you in an awkward position, saying that you are, you Gene Simmons, I mean you Kiss. You are sort of moving more towards movies, rather than cinema, rather than music.
Well, I expected that. I knew that would happen.
No, I'm not asking you that.
That's okay. I have a big mouth. I'll talk about it. Most people have small dreams. I refuse to live by their limitations. Most people in the world can't imagine of even having a recording career. If I lived my life the way they live their life, I would never have even gotten this far. So most people can conceive, at least, of having a recording career. I conceive of more. I want to have my own record company, and I'm going to. And I want to produce
Had it already.
starting. And other people can't imagine that. But that's okay, because those people should go after their dreams. Leave my dreams alone. Let me do what I want to do. Actually, I don't care if somebody else understands it. When it's time to leave home, it doesn't matter if your mother and father understand why. You just have to go.
Yeah, sorry.
And the truth is, everything revolves around Kiss, but Kiss is not the only thing. I like girls, food, good food, books, movies, creative things. I would love to learn a couple of more languages. I'd love to learn how to write a great screenplay. I'd love to paint. Why shouldn't you try to do as many things as you can before they put you under the ground?
Yeah, sure.
How boring to be known as a great popcorn maker. This man made the best popcorn in the world, and that's all.
Yeah.
No, he made good popcorn, didn't make a bad sandwich, made a good table. He could walk 10 miles, he could do this, he could do that. You're many things.
Yeah.
I can't.
But if you think people see you in the right perspective, or they see you...
Oh, I don't care about that.
I mean, is that a personal...
I don't care how people see me, I care how I see me. At night, you go to sleep with yourself. Sometimes you go to sleep with other. What are you smiling at? Oh, or her. I'm kidding. At night, you go to sleep with yourself.
And then you achieve. So
yeah, and the last thought you have is, how did I do today? Was I okay? Did I live up to my expectations? The worst thing I can think of is being disappointed in myself. That's the worst. I'm sure we're the same way.
Yeah.
You get start saying, "Oh, I could have done that," and you say, "Just give me one more chance," you know.
Absolutely. You and Paul always said that Kiss is like entertainment, fun.
Is ear candy.
Weird candy.
Yeah, it's meant it tastes good. I'm not sure. That's it. I'm not sure I know what it means, except that it's fun and people have a good time with it. And if it puts a smile on your face and makes you forget about traffic jams or girlfriends who aren't loyal or whatever, then it's valid.
Is record company, is your record company something for you like on the business side? Because life is not only fun.
Everything that I do for fun also is business. Because otherwise, then just throw money out the window. If it's not going to be from business, then just throw your money out the window and let them really have a good time. That's valid. No, the record company is my way of giving something back. That I got. Somebody once gave me the chance to make a record, and I want to give that back. Some of that to a new band, a couple of new bands.
Right. Or Kobra is not a new band.
The majority of the members in the band are.
Yeah, I know that.
How do you know about Kobra?
Just read it somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. But we're signed to your record company.
Boy, that news travels fast.
Sure does.
When did you read that?
A month ago. Kind of aware that I know I read something. So you look for new bands more if you're like...
No, I look for things that I like, but no rules. It's just that the future of rock and roll is always new bands. You think so too? I'm in fine company. She thinks so too. Let the records show she thinks so too. New bands are where the future stars are going to come from, and the new things that people want to talk about, and that's important. So although I'm on the lookout for artists who already have some experience, that's valid. So new bands are hungrier. They have to have it. It's life and death.
So it's like what, few bands that carry on for a long time, like you, and very few others, and the rest is just like refreshing continuously. There'll be less dying and bands.
That's right. A lot of bands, most bands that record don't even get past their first album. Some bands have very big success very fast, and then they die. Quiet Riot, and Peter Frampton, and the Bee Gees, and tons of groups. All sorts of groups have huge success, and then they die. Or they have very bad sales, and then they die. But the winners, the champions, are the long-distance runners. They're not the fastest. They don't try to be the fastest. They just continue running. And then while everybody who runs a little bit faster falls down, the one who wins the race is the one that never gives up. Perseverance. And champion boxers are always like that. They never go in for the kill. They jab a little bit, they tire out the guy, then they put the knockout. In the 10th round. Not in the first round.
Well, you're on the 15th now.
That's right. And the champions last longest.
Yeah.
There have been other bands. It's true. Quiet Riot sold 5 million records of that first album. Now, goodbye.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're sort of there still, but
we'll see. There's a new album coming out. They can still do it. But the point is, I don't want to be a shooting star. Shooting stars go shh, and they're over.
Well, you haven't been.
That's right. Well, the point is, take your time. Take your shot. Study it. Go in for the long run. That's much more exciting.
Did you ever think he was not going to be like this for you? Like,
no, I was sure.
There's been a time where you were not sure he was going to last that long.
No, I was sure. You have to be sure. Because if you're not, it's not going to be. Before a high dive artist a diver into a pool is going to dive, he has to know he's going to do it. You must know it first. No, I knew it. Even when sales were a bit down in America during the beginning 80s, but at the same time, we were doing stadiums all over South America and the rest of the world. So depends where you mean down.
So I don't know. You had a novel called Unmasked.
Oh, I hated that record.
And I had the feeling that you were going to take your makeup off then.
No,
and then you were sort of like, hold on, this is not your right time. We better not do it now.
Oh no, we decided to call it Unmasked only because the story idea on top of the album was about how somebody was trying to catch us without our makeup.
Which has been a long story in the past. There were like pictures of you without a makeup
for years.
Going back to the new album, and you used the help, Desmond Child. What do you think he brought into Kiss?
Desmond Child does what a chef will know how to use spices. Desmond Child is a spice. So is any collaborator. You have your main ingredients, and then to make the food taste a little bit special, you bring in a little paprika, a little something else, a little outside the normal, or you put some wine in it, which is something else that gives a little special flavor. That makes it fresh. Otherwise, it's the same tasting food. I don't want to happen to Kiss what happened to The Who and the Stones and so many great, great bands, my favorite bands, where at the end of their career, and this is not the end of our career as far as I'm concerned, but at the end, the material started to sound tired because they didn't co-write, my opinion. Sister Disco and all that stuff, it was tired. There was no vibrancy. There was no Won't Get Fooled Again. There was no important songs. There was no My Generation. And it's tougher. The longer you last, it's tougher to write good songs because you wind up copying yourself. You wind up, how when you get used to playing a certain way, you wind up playing that way. So it's easy to copy yourself. And the important thing is never to copy yourself. And sometimes a collaborator will prevent you from doing that. You'll say, hey, wait a minute, don't do that. How about this?
Was that just the only reason why you're not copying yourself, or is something that you do without him anyway? I mean, for example, you produce other bands. Do they give you any sort of idea that you think like,
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. But that's the point. The point is that when you meet other people and different ideas, then you get different ideas. Even by watching. Sure. But I mean, it's within the confines of guitars and drums and playing loud. There's only so much you can do anyway. That's why it's so tough. So you have to work at it.
And what are the bands that you thought you worked with and were like sort of really giving you a very good vibe and inspiration for?
Who did?
Yeah.
A group called Easy O, Japanese group.
Yeah. Had the feeling it was going to be that.
Fresh. Something about them is just fresh. They're not trying to be Eddie Van Halen. They're not copying Van Halen. They're not copying AC/DC. They're not copying anybody that this. I hear bits and pieces, but it sounds fresh to me. Especially the solos. Different.
You had this video called Exposed. Came out for the year.
She knows all this stuff?
Oh yeah, she knows all about you. Is the number 2, top 10 kids.
She's about 19, 20. 22?
It it was supposed to be, I guess, coming out at the time when you were sort of working on the album, sort of fill a gap.
Which this album?
Exposed. That
Exposed.
to sort of come in between, to sort of keep.
That's right. That's just to keep the fans happy.
Yeah.
That shipped gold and went platinum right away. And it's not even released in Europe yet.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to. Europe has not seen you on the Asylum tour. Don't you think that it should have been released here as well? So that,
as far as I'm concerned, sure. Why wasn't it done? I don't know.
For you were in control, essentially.
But it's like, no, you don't control those things. You can only control so many things. We have total control of what we put, of anything that has Kiss on it, we control. What goes into it, how it looks, how long it should be, what price is, everything. You can't control distribution. It's too much, unless you own the distribution center, unless you own the trucks that bring the things there. But why do movies come out in America first and then 2 years later or 3 years later come out in Europe? Why? I don't know. Maybe one of the reasons,
distribution again.
Maybe videos are not as popular in Europe as they are in America, and they are not.
Well, yes, but
now every home in America has a video machine. Not every home in Europe.
I know.
And when I ask the hotel for a video machine, it takes them an hour to stick it in. In America, and it's in.
Yeah. No, it's just it should, in my opinion, it should not work on the fact that Europe has got so much availability of video machine, or is not so widespread as in America. I mean, if you have a policy to have this out in order to fill a gap,
that should come out.
Should come out anywhere.
That's right.
Because the kids.
But why won't it? I can't explain it. Will it come out? Yes.
It was very humoristic, I would say.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
How'd you see it?
Send this to Mr. TJ Ramos.
Oh.
Was it a good? I mean, what was the purpose of it? It was like having fun. Have fun of yourselves.
Originally, yeah, sure, to make fun of everything. Originally, the Polygram video came to us and they said, let's put together just videos. We said, no, that's boring. Let's do something a little interesting. Let's fool around. Take a camera and let's just go. Let's see what happens. So we planned a couple of things, like my bedroom with the girls on the wall and the girls sitting on my lap. We planned a couple of things. But the rest, we just had a good time and just let the camera roll and see what happens. Because it's not enough for us to just give you videos. You can see that on television.
Yeah, that's where
we want to give a little special.
Well, plus there was a lot of vintage stuff.
Yes, and a lot of girls who lost their clothing. I don't know what happened. Just fell off by accident.
Well, because it was hot.
Yes, or we pulled it off. That's what it was. This one little girl had the most perfect bone.
No,
perfect tits.
Yeah, just. And she lost it too.
Yes. More than once.
I'm sure she was not very upset.
And she was not alone.
What was that? Yeah. Other rumors. You are going to
kiss with makeup.
No. Thought you were not that interested. I mean, the only person who would take advantage of it is Ace.
That's
or Peter Criss, if he was to come out.
Yeah. I'm not interested. It's the past. And I'm proud of it, but you already did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's nothing special. When you see a magician pull a rabbit out of the hat, the first time you go, ooh. And then the second time you go, ah. Third time, not so exciting. Fourth time, oh, he's pulling the rabbit out of the hat. So there's no, I don't want to do an oldies show.
Would it work if Kiss came out in 1986 with Makeup? If he was the other way around?
I mean, 88.
Well, as you said, this Sabbath, yeah, well.
If we did what?
If it was the other way around, Kiss have Makeup now instead of 10 years ago.
But who would be in Kiss?
like Kiss that as it is now.
Oh, would it work? No, I don't think so. Oh, you mean fresh? A new band?
Yeah. But that was them, and it was right.
I can't say. Maybe the times have a lot to do with it. I don't know.
Would be interesting, very. You certainly had, as we were saying before, you said you managed to keep everything fresh.
You have to.
And you sort of, I think it was really the right thing to keep this expectation that when he's got Kiss without the maker.
That's right. And you do it when nobody is expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And don't make a big deal about it. Just take it off the same way you put it on. Before we announced, we didn't say to the world, and now there's going to be a group that's going to wear makeup. You don't make an announcement. You just do it. And then if it works or doesn't work because it's either real or not real. People have to have their own opinion about it. And when we decided to take it off, we took it off. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And we took off the makeup after we played the largest show we ever played in Rio.
Rio, yeah. It was the one song is exposed.
Yeah. And you see that audience, it goes forever. There's a place here called Wembley Stadium, 4 times that big.
I know.
And you can't believe how many people it's like 200,000 people, and you look at it and you can't even imagine how big it is. And police helicopters above, and it goes on forever. But after we did that show, we knew this is the most we can ever take this idea. And then the caterpillar has to build a cocoon, and then the butterfly has to come out. And you have to change. Yeah. To survive, you have to change. That's a law of nature.
2 things are getting exposed. I can't remember whether it's you or Paul. I think it's Paul says Kiss is a special place to be. Is like a magic thing. Do you think that the people who've been in the band that left, etc., realize that?
Yes. That's why Ace is talking about a reunion tour.
Well, but Ace was the original guitarist, so it's like.
So you mean Vinny and Mark St. John?
Yeah, people.
Absolutely. No matter what anybody thinks, when you meet Kiss fans, you realize that this is a tradition. I'm in the band, but I'm also aware when I take a step outside that there's like this legend for fans about what the group means, and that it's more than a rock and roll band to a lot of people. I know that. When I walk into a fan's room then the whole room is like a temple to Kiss, I know that it's more than music. To him, it's something that keeps him going forward so that he can live his dream. And then when you meet, when I work with groups that I produce, Keel and Black and Blue, and Gizio, every one of them says, if it wasn't for Kiss, I wouldn't be doing this. And some groups that never even entered rock and roll. I met not John Taylor, but Andy Taylor, the guitar player in Duran Duran. When he finally started to play rock and roll after he left Duran Duran, he came to me and he said he saw Kiss in 1975, and because he saw us, he decided he wanted to be in a band. But I said, but you went into Duran Duran, that's a different kind of band. He said, well, it took me a while, but I finally realized. And then he left the band.
Back to cinema.
Def Leppard too, everybody.
Yeah. What are your plans? I mean, what movies are coming out and what?
One is called Wanted, Dead or Alive. But I think it's out here now, is it? Do you know? Do you know Rutger Hauer? No. My fellow Dutchman? Yes. From Scheveningen. Nice. No. He said he's from Scheveningen. His name goes like Keats. Well, maybe he lives there now, but came from where Van Gogh came, and that's what did you see Blade Runner?
Yeah.
He was the robot, the blonde.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see The Hitchhiker?
No.
Did you see Lady Hawk?
Yes.
He was the knight.
Right.
So in this movie, he plays the good guy and I play the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
And he plays a cop, a bounty hunter, and I play an Arab terrorist who has a lot of money and a lot of women.
You like to play the bad guy?
I do, but it's time to play good guys. In the future, I'm going to be doing good guys. I want to get the girl at the end.
Yeah, because even in Exposed, you seem like the good guy out of the two, I would say. Because the rest of the band is not really in there.
Even in Exposed, what happened?
You seem to be the bad guy,
Yeah,
and Paul seems to be the
good guy.
good guy.
I don't know why that is. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. I was born bad, I guess. I don't know.
Are you saying something more about the movies that Simo? Is it just this movie coming out, or?
That one, that came out in January in America. There's another movie called Never Too Young to Die, which came out a little before that. And another movie called Trick or Treat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that came out here. I did not like that movie. But the original part that was offered to me in that movie was the rock and roll guy, the one that dressed in leather and all.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. But I thought that the disc jockey in the beginning, who has a conversation with the fan, said something I thought had to be said. That rock and roll is music, and don't take it too seriously. Don't take anything too seriously.
Well, last question. There's been one point in your career when you were playing for 12-year-old kids, more or less.
Under 3-year-olds.
So let's say in between about 9. Was it? That was that feeling.
It happened by
a satisfaction, or
sure,
like
satisfaction. No, it's fine. Whoever comes to see Kiss is fine. It happened by accident. We were a straight rock and roll band who played to whoever came to see us, usually 18 to 25-year-olds. Now it's back to 18 to 25-year-olds. And then the toys, the Kiss pinball machines and the dolls and the radios, all that, and the comic books came out. And then the age group got very young because of the toys, because they saw Heroes. They didn't know about the records.
Yeah.
And then they heard that we were coming to town, so it was like, the circus is coming to town. So they went to see the show.
But was that deterring the old fans to follow the band?
Sure, some old fans got very pissed off, and they thought it was a kiddie band. So they left for a couple of years. Then they came back.
Right. So it's like you had to play the part.
No, we were ourselves. We did whatever we did. We felt whatever we...
No, I mean, it didn't go like easier on the music.
No, we did whatever we felt we were.
Oh, so it was outside the music. So
nothing to do. Right. It just happened. But imagine being 12 years old and seeing your first concert as Kiss. Who are you going to see after that that's going to give you a kick?
Not me.
Yeah. So if we were the first group for the virgin ears, that's not so bad, because then they expect the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not enough then for them to see a group who comes out and just stands there and doesn't sweat. Yeah, because they're afraid their hair, will get messed up.
Well, especially at the time we were still wearing masks, so it was like...
That's right.
Like cartoon kind of.
So I have no problem with that. I think it's fine. Whoever goes to a show goes because they want to have a good time. 12, 20, 30, or 40, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.